Latest on the crisis in Syria and whether this weekend's potentially groundbreaking deal will really eliminate Assad's chemical weapons. A critical report expected from the UN today. The president was cautiously optimistic in my interview yesterday, but he's taking more heat from critics, and ABC's John Carl is tracking it all from the White House.
Intense negotiations with the Russians, John Kerry accomplished a big first step, getting them to agree that Syria must give a comprehensive accounting of all its chemical weapons within 1 week. Despite the tentative deal this morning, the president is still under fire from critics on all sides for how he's handled the crisis. In an exclusive interview with George on This Week, President Obama said he's made clear progress, even though he hasn't gotten support for military force.
What I've said consistently throughout is that the chemical weapons issue is a problem. I want that problem dealt with. That's my goal. And if that goal is achieved, then it sounds to me like we did something right.
But many in Congress say the president has struck a bad deal. It requires too much trust of the Russians.
We are now depending on the goodwill of the Russian people if Bashar Assad violates this agreement.
This is a Russian plan for Russian interests.
George put the question of Russia's role directly to the president.
But do you trust he has the same goal? Do you really trust that?
I don't think that Mr. Putin has the same values that we do. And I think, obviously, by protecting Mr. Assad, he has a different attitude about the Assad regime.
This morning, the UN is preparing to release its long-awaited report on that gruesome chemical weapons attack last month. It's a report, George, that won't assign blame, but the White House says will make it clear who was responsible, the Assad government.
And John, the president refocusing on the economy today, markets surging overnight on the news that his top pick for Federal Reserve Chair Larry Summers is actually dropping out.
Yeah, this is quite a story. This is the biggest economic decision potentially the president will make in his second term. By all accounts, he wanted Larry Summers to be his Fed chairman, but he had opposition from liberals from his own base who thought Summers was too close to Wall Street, and he was forced to withdraw.
Okay, John Carl, thanks very much.